Good morning. Welcome. Anybody coming to the chat? Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing? Do 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 do. Okie dokie. Artichokey. Okie dokie artichokey. What you guys got? All right. Interestingly enough, this is Morinanga. Let's see here. Internet connection should be better now. This is a supplement I'm using now. Organic Moringa. Moringa from Holberg, New England. It's got a moringa leaf, black cumin, and olive. It's supposed to be an anti-inflammatory, so we're gonna see how it works. I am a big fan of anti-inflammatory supplements, simply because when you use your body a lot and it gets inflamed, it's a good idea to reduce the inflammation. All right. Gotta pee real quick. Gotta pee real quick. Gotta pee real quick. Okie dokie artichokey, okie dokie artichokey. Yo, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing this fine, beautiful morning? Everybody doing well? Okie dokie. What do we got? So, anybody who's into the chat, feel free to ask anything. I'm kind of in today's topics, kind of more on health and wellness. So, just finished a little workout at the gym, nothing crazy. And now we're getting ready to cook. Went ahead and cooked breakfast. And I'm thinking, got some rice over here. So good, what you guys got? You guys talk to me. Anybody in the chat, feel free to say hello. Feel free to say hello. If you got any questions on diet, nutrition, simple things like that, just let me know. All right, we've got that. Not super hungry with that. I'm gonna wait for my rice to cook, and I like to eat rice and eggs, in case anybody's curious. Got my eggs and rice being cooked right over here. One thing I always tell you guys, this right here, eggs are so essential. Eggs, you can do a lot with eggs and rice. Like, yeah, trust me, I still eat meat and I eat a lot of foods, but if you can get really good eggs and rice into your diet and you start training, and heaven forbid you start learning how to like contract muscles with rice and egg, you will be amazed at how your body responds to that. Rice and eggs, guys. Rice and eggs for the win. Rice and eggs. Anyways. Anybody in the chat? Any comments coming in? Anybody got any questions? Questions, concerns? Anybody got any chats? Let me know. You got me for a little bit. A little later than I would normally be here. But kind of getting the urge to go through a little micro bulk again. Not a big one, but just a little one. A little micro bulk. Little micro bulk. Do. Yo, dog, good morning. Austin, Good morning. What's up, Austin? How are you? What you up? What you up to, Austin? Where you coming in from, Austin? Austin Hager. Austin Hager. Very good morning. Yo, dog. Getting my day started. Oh yeah, Dallas, Texas. Cool, cool, cool. That's what's up. Y'all aren't you? Are you in Central Time? You in Central Time, right? In Dallas, Texas, I think. I think you're an hour behind me. Yes, sir. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I tell you guys right now, I've been doing a routine. I don't know if you ever 7:53. Yeah, I was up around 5:30 or 6 this morning, and I went ahead. I'm trying to get my workouts back early in the morning. But I'll tell you guys, I figured out a hack. If you guys are like me and you're not exactly the most morning person, but you want to go to the gym and train, I figured out something. Right? What I've been doing, and I know this isn't the healthiest thing in the world because it's Gatorade and it's got some artificial dye in it, but I mean, everything's gonna kill you and everything's gonna save you in today's world. But I've been taking some BCAAs, some salt, some water, and some Gatorade, and about 30 minutes before I get ready to leave to go to the gym early, I start hydrating with a bunch of electrolytes, a little bit of sugar. And what I notice is when I get to the gym, I'm able to get a pump because I'm not super hungry first thing in the morning. So hard to get a good workout in, not be tired. Well, here's the thing, man. I don't think that's true. That's where you and me disagree. If you're going full balls to the wall, absolutely. You go into the gym and you're gonna kill yourself, but no, I would look at the gym differently. Okay, because I used to do that when I was in the military. I would do an early morning workout or a late workout, and I'd be doing heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, just frying my nervous system. But I found a way that I think is better for longevity. As soon as you wake up, you drink water, brush your teeth, do a little bit of movement, but start hydrating with BCAAs, salt, electrolytes, and even a little bit of sugar and honey. You're getting your body primed to go to the gym. And then when you go there first thing in the morning, don't go there to just destroy yourself. Go there to pick either upper body, lower body. Hell, you could do a full body, you could do a split. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever you're doing, work up to one hard set of 3 to 5, 1 to 2 hard sets of 3 to 5, right, for your main movement. But only go about 90%, like 85, 90%, get a good push. Then the rest of the workout's just pump work through the entire upper or lower body. And what that does is it gives you enough progression with a main movement, and then you have some pump work to just work on opening up areas and getting blood, and then rotating that. And because you have the salt, you have the sugar inside of your body before you go, right? Like the Gatorade, the BCAAs. First thing in the morning, you're hydrated, you're good, and it should be strong enough to push you to get progressive overload, and then you stimulate the other portions. Like if you were having a back or a chest or an upper body, maybe you warm up your shoulders, do some mobility for 10 minutes, and you get your main press exercise that you're working on your strength, and you work up to like 20, 15, 12, 10, and then like a few sets of 3. But next time you come back, you want your sets of 3 to be more than last week. But once you hit that strength, pull back off that nervous system and then let volume take care of the rest. And I think, that's how I train my clients. And today was my second or third workout in an actual gym in like almost over a month. I've just been doing push-ups and pull-ups and running outside. So I felt really good this morning. I tell you guys, every year you should take a month off of the weights, let your body heal. Don't lift weights, just do calisthenics. And I'm telling you, by doing that, it really works, man. I mean, you do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, don't kill yourself first thing in the morning. Like, use it for more volume. And hell, if you only do it for 45 minutes to an hour, right, knock it out. And then if the gym's close to you on the way back home, save a heavy, heavy, hard workout for the end of the day. And you could split that up into 2 sessions. My body has always responded better to 2 sessions of 45 minutes to an hour split between 6 to 8 hours apart versus a 3 or 4 hour workout all at once. I just feel like the body, at least for me, maybe my recovery is not that good, but I eat pretty good when I train. And I used to be a competitive athlete. And I'm telling you, I'd rather break up my workouts into shorter bursts more frequently and use the callus principle. That super high intensity training where you kill your body, rip it down to failure, and then come back, I typically don't think that works unless you're a drug lifter or you're training full body every other day and you're taking 4 days of rest. So that is my rant on that, in case anybody cares. As a certified trainer, as someone who works with NASM and ACE, in case you guys are wondering if you guys ever want to become a trainer, get in touch with me because we can set that up. I work with university, Body Design University, and we get people enrolled into the ACE and NASM programs. So if you're ever curious about that, I can show you how to do that. Really good. PhDs in physiology and nutrition, exercise science, specializations. I mean, it's amazing. So I know that was a lot, Austin. I just went off there, but if you wake up and you hydrate, it really does. I'm telling you, BCAAs and Gatorade, start sipping that the moment you wake up. Brush your teeth, start putting that in 30, 45 minutes later when you're on your way to the gym or whatever. Now you're hydrated, you have electrolytes, you're gonna be able to get a pump. I don't think you need a lot of protein right when you wake up, especially if you ate the day before and you're eating a few hours and you're eating 3 times a day. When you wake up, you need hydration. You need to be hydrated in order to perform. And then, my post-workout meal is gonna be like 4 or 5 eggs and some rice. Eggs and rice is the truth, dude. I mean, I have steak and I have all that stuff, but you got to get eggs in your diet. Eggs help you burn fat. Simple as that. Eggs help you burn fat. Simple as that. Eggs help you burn fat. Simple as that. You got the niacin. You got the choline. You got the B12. You got zinc. You got magnesium. You got folate. Eggs is nature's multivitamin, baby. All right. Enough of that. So, what's up, Austin? Hope that, I know I just fire hosed you with a bunch of information, but I mean that, man. I love training people, you know what I mean? And, that's why I get people from Body Design University, and also I'm a licensed insurance agent, all that stuff. Yeah, Austin, did that make sense? I'm telling you, dude, if you want, man, how old are you? And what's your routine? Hey, look, I'm a certified trainer, dude. That's what I did in the Navy as my side duty. I literally work for a company right now, Body Design University, and we help people become training. I am saturated in this stuff. I watch and I read sports and science nutrition like people read their Bible a lot of times. This is my wheelhouse. But does that make sense, man? Because think about it. What do you do for a living, dude? You're in Texas, so I'm assuming, are you working in an office or are you doing blue collar work? Blue collar, white collar, what are you doing? Because that's pretty important, what you doing? Home inspector, okay, cool. So you're inspecting homes, I'm guessing inspecting for a contractor to come in and do the work, or are you doing the work too? Because if you're just inspecting the homes, you're probably climbing and doing some stuff. Getting on roofs. Okay. Hey, okay. Yeah, if you're working on a roof, that's a hell of a labor-intensive job. No one gonna take health advice from a fat guy. Well, that's cool. Well, here's the thing. Me? Sometimes look, me personally, I agree with that statement, but if someone was an athlete and then they got injured and then at some point they were in shape and they know how to do it, then okay, I will take advice from a fat guy. But if someone's never been in the pool and someone's never swam in the water, how are you going to teach me to swim? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff like that. But, I have met some guys. Hi, Kai Walandan. Hi, Kai. So, weight training maybe, but not. weight training maybe, but not health and wellness. Yeah. I mean, look, I've met some big, strong, fat dudes who do competitions. And, when you want to have a certain level of strength, being big and fluffy, you're going to be stronger when you're bigger. Mass moves mass. But 99% of people just want to look good naked and have energy and have longevity. And those are the guys that I typically coach. Now, I used to compete in strongman. What's up? I know you probably hate how I pronounce your name, but that's okay. But Austin, I'll tell you, first thing in the morning, you get some Gatorade. I'm telling you. And some BCAAs. And I have found that when I wake up, if I just go drink coffee, then my body don't feeling too good. So I do the Rise mushroom coffee now, and I do like that product. I'll show you. But not trying to sell you anything. I don't make any money from them. But the Rise coffee is pretty sweet. But what I always tell people is this. If you hydrate and put the salt, water, and get some BCAAs in your system first thing in the morning, your system's going to kind of not have to digest food. I never feel good if I eat a meal and then go straight to the gym. I mean, I can feel okay. If I was doing heavy work, then maybe. But I feel better when I'm hydrated, have some honey or some sugar mixed in with some electrolytes. Oh, my rice is ready. And then I like my heavier meals after I train. Let's see if my rice looks good. Oh, baby, we got some sticky, icky rice. Let me get that sticky rice, baby. I tell you guys, between rice and eggs, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen of the choir. Gentlemen, bye. Well, have a great day, Kai. I hope you have a good day, okay? Hope you have a nice day. Ooh, that's yummy. Yummy. Guys, sticky rice, 4 to 5 eggs, a little bit of hot sauce. That is a yummy meal. Look at that. It's steaming hot. And I actually Keep Warm, so now it's on Keep Warm. And I actually like soy sauce on my eggs and rice. See, for me, I'm not lean right now, but I haven't really been training because I was injured. But I'm 6'4", about 220 pounds, right? So for me, to keep my physique, I think staying hydrated and then after you train, that's the time to put your nutrition in. Before you train, I don't think it's as important because some people actually think the meal that you eat is going to be digested by the time you get into the gym. And that's just not true. You're going off the food you ate a couple days ago, 24, 48 hours. So to me, it makes more sense for me to hydrate before I go to the gym. Gatorade, electrolytes, sugar-free. A little bit of sugar is okay before and after you train because then your body's going to use it. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. Da-da-da. Ah, yum. So now I have my cheese rice over here. All right. Where's the phone at? There it is. All right, so I'm going to eat over here now as I talk to you guys. I will eat over here and have a coffee talk. All right. There we go. Oh, I got to cut the heating lamps off. Good morning, Carol. Good morning. Give me 1 second. I got to cut the heating. I got to cut the heating lamps off real quick. Good morning. I'm going to eat real quick as I talk to you guys. I don't have my good lights on over here. Oh, we'll put this one on over here. Good morning, good morning. There we go. All right, good. Man, this lighting looks like complete doo-doo. The lighting looks like doo-doo right here. Oh, well, it is what it is, right? Good morning, how you guys doing? All right, there we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okie dokie, artichoke. So we got our eggs and rice. Trained for about an hour and a half this morning. You're waiting for winter to be over. Probably you and a lot of people, right? Nicole Barbie, oh, you didn't miss much. Canada, 4 feet of snow and minus 10 degrees. Holy moly. Well, I like the cold weather, but I don't know if I like the cold that much. Guys, you're gonna have to forgive me, but I'm getting the urge. The last month, I've been working on a business project, and the last month I've been working on a business project, and I finally decided I want to get back into the gym because I know how to train. Like, I do a bunch of push-ups and pull-ups, but I kind of felt like I wanted to go through a little bulk for like 4 to 6 weeks, start lifting a little bit because my body responds pretty fast to training. You gotta remember, I've been training since I was 16. And when I pull back on training, as soon as I start training more, I feel like within a week or two, my body just starts looking different. Did I shave my chest? No. Well, I have, believe it or not, back in the day when I started training, I have shaved my chest before. But I do have hair on my chest, but I have a little filter on here. Let's see if I cut the filter off. Let's say no filter. It's supposed to make the lighting look good. Now, I got a little bit of hair on the old chest, but typically I do sometimes shave my chest. And people think that's weird, but I'll tell you right now, if you get some sun and you shave a little bit of the hair off, you do look better when you pose. So not that I'm posing, not that I'm a bodybuilder, but I do go to the gym to try to look decent. Like, my goal in training as I get older is not just to lift all the weight in the world. I don't really care how much weight I lift. I care about contracting a muscle and getting a muscle to contract, because the more of a contraction that you can get, the better you're gonna look. And I do a little bit of strength training, but because I've had some pretty severe back injuries from when I was deadlifting like 700 pounds and I was a 300-pound strongman, right? I don't lift heavy just to lift heavy. If I have to lift lighter to feel a muscle contract, I'm gonna do that more than just heavy weights. Yeah. Well, the key is changing your nutrition. I tell people this as a trainer and someone who sells insurance and has a lot of businesses, as you guys know. One of the things is I know how to eat base. Now, I've gone through courses and college classes, Navy classes, NASM classes, ACE classes, ISSA classes. I know how to eat to match my workload. And when you know how to eat to match your volume when you train, your body will just adapt to training. But you have to understand nutrition in order to get that effect. I've been studying nutrition since I was a teenager. So when I decide to do 4, 8, 12-week strength programs, mass programs, cuts, I feel like I have a pretty good gauge of how nutrition works. Oh yeah, change it. I know, yeah, change. Yeah, Nicole, that's cool. Yes, Shawnee. Yeah, if you exercise and you're not hungry, to me that doesn't make sense unless you did a bunch of cardio. If you did a bunch of cardio and you really got your body like going, I don't always get hungry when I do a lot of cardio, but if I lift weights and I'm actually contracting, I'm always hungry after I train. I gauge my appetite as a way to control my hormones. So if I wake up or I train and I'm never hungry and I'm never hungry, typically that means my stress and my cortisol is elevated. So the goal is to actually be hungry when you train and teach your body to eat and metabolize more food, and then that boosts your your basal metabolic rate, and then you can eat more to feed the active tissue. Because remember, muscle is active tissue. So if you're building more active tissue, you're going to need to eat more food. So it's a balance about how much muscle you want to build based on how you want your body to look. And then there's based on performance, and then there's anaerobic and aerobic activity. And, there's a lot of science that goes into it. I'm not going to be able to go through the science of how it all works in a stream, but any specific questions you guys can ask me. Nicole, I went over that earlier. I'll tell you, no, I don't eat before I train if it's early in the morning, which is I'm trying to shift my schedule is shifting with my business. So I'm trying to get my workouts in at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. What I do is I hydrate. So yesterday I ate pretty good. Yesterday I had protein, carbs, and fats throughout the day. I ate really good yesterday. So when I wake up, I don't really need too much food because my body's pretty fed. So what I do before I train, I'll take BCAAs, salt, Gatorade, honey, and sugar. And as soon as I wake up, the first thing I'm doing is I'm trying to hydrate. I want to go to the gym hydrated with salt, potassium, magnesium, so I can train in a hydrated state. So I do fuel before I train, but I'm not eating like eggs and grits and toast and oatmeal. I wouldn't do that before I train. I didn't eat, but I'm trying to lose some calories. I ate set extra. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I wouldn't eat before you train. Now, if you're going to train later on in the day and you wake up hungry, go ahead and eat. But it depends on your nutrition and what you ate the days before. Okay? So, again, optimally, I want to wake up, start drinking water, get my electrolytes, right? And some sugar. And I want to put that in my system immediately when I wake up. So within the next 30 to 45 minutes, I'm going to be at the gym and my body's going to be hydrated with salt, potassium, magnesium, all the electrolytes that I need. And then when I start training, I have an empty stomach full of liquid and electrolytes, train. And then after I train, I'll have like a protein meal, which is typically 4 or 5 whole eggs and rice. Or some meat could be good. And then throughout the day, if I want to train later on this evening, like do some cardio, I'm going to stay hydrated. So depending on how frequently you train, mixed in with what you're doing in work, you have to balance those and make sure you stay hydrated and you eat based upon your intensity, your volume, and your frequency of training. Like there's a lot of planning that goes into my routines. That's why you'll see me in like 2 weeks, I'll probably be a lot different looking. A lot of it comes down to the science of the training and the nutrition. There's a lot of thought that goes into my routine. If you think it's just wake up, eat, no. Every single thing, like when I start training, I'm like one of those people who are like all in or all out. So as soon as I start like a weightlifting program, I'm like, okay, where's my salt? Where's my potassium? Where's my micronutrients? How many calories am I eating? How many times a day? Based on if I'm having a rest day, based on what I did the day before, am I carb cycling? Like there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just I wake up, I eat good food, I go train. No. And then how you train is important too. Are you doing volume? Are you doing intensity? Are you doing myofibrillar hypertrophy? Are you doing sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? You know, there's a reason that when I go into the gym, I look the way I do and other people look the way they do. Because I work out with a lot of people who are big and strong, but when we take our shirts off and I'm under lighting, they don't look like I do. And there's a reason for that. You know, I've been studying this shit since I was 15 years old. And I'm not saying I have the greatest physique, but I'm almost 40 years old. I have a 32-inch waist and 52-inch shoulders. So my goal is to have a wide shoulders. Like I like the taper, the wide shoulders that cuts down into a small waist. I'm not trying to just be big and massive and like overbearing. I have a specific look, a classic old school natural physique that's built upon aesthetics and proportions. So even my training is dictated on how I see myself in the mirror when I want to train, right? Now, for the last 30, 40 days, I've been doing nothing but push-ups and pull-ups. But I've been going to the gym this week, the last couple days, and just lifting weights, and I'm kind of like, ooh, I kind of missed how that chest pump, like even my chest from 2 days of working out, you see how it's got a little bit more separation in it now? That's because of the exercises I choose and how I'm doing the exercise. Most people are doing all this fast stuff and then they're going too slow. They're not contracting. Like, you got to understand how to contract muscles. Muscle contraction is so important in getting results. And sometimes you want to go fast. Sometimes you want to go slow. Like, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, a lot. So, yeah, everybody's bodies and trainings are different, sure. Oh, what you eat is so important. How you look and what you eat is the main thing. You know, you don't have to train that hard. Like, everybody goes into the gym and tries to kill themselves. That's not what you want to do. You can't. You have to put enough stress on your body for it to adapt to the change. But if you put too much stress, you're going to elevate your cortisol. Like, you know, you got to like understand how your body's responding to training. It's like, there's a lot like of self-reflection and understanding, hey, is my body looking better? Is it getting stronger? Especially if you're training to try to look better. You know, hell, some people don't care how they look. They just want to be big and strong. That's cool. But just eat a bunch of pancakes and lift a bunch of heavy weight. You'll get big and strong, but you ain't going to look good. So, in my opinion, eggs and rice and soy sauce. Ooh, so yummy. Yum, 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 yum. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Very cool. So, like for me, I know right now, as I train, my body will start to look more aesthetic because I'm only 2 workouts in and I can already see it trying to come back in. So, again, my ideal physique is to have super, super wide shoulders. And a lot of my muscle is in my back and my legs. So, you guys should look at some of my old footage before I had my injury. Like, I'm trying to really have that wide. You see how my back is really wide and I have those big shoulders like that, right? And a lot of people will say you should have more traps. I don't want huge traps. My traps, if your traps are too big, it makes you look more narrow. So I have a specific look that I want my body to look. Because like when I wear a suit and I wear business attire and stuff, I like to look good in a dress shirt and a suit. So, and again, I have not been lifting weights for the last month. I've just been doing push-ups and pull-ups and doing business in my office. But I'm going to get back into the gym and do a little mini bulk I'm only about 220 pounds right now. I mean, I could get as big as 230, 240. I can put 20 pounds on in a month like nothing because I used to be so large, so I had that muscle memory. But I'm trying to keep my waist as small as possible. Like, my waist isn't like shredded or anything, but I want to keep this to be as lean as possible as I grow muscle. So I'm looking more into quality versus just pure quantity. Does that make sense? You don't need to chew eggs? Uh-huh. Okay. Eggs are the truth, man. Eggs and rice. I'm telling you, man. Eggs, rice, salt, pepper, and then maybe some fruit and veggie smoothies. That's a really good recipe to build muscle if you know how to actually stimulate. Now, if you're just trying to lift heavy weight, sometimes you may be working your tendons and your nervous system more than the actual muscle, right? What does it say? I mean, I guess you could just like slurp your eggs down, but if you drink raw eggs, you're losing about 30% of the protein. And I am blessed enough to have a friend who actually gives me pasteurized eggs. And she is an invaluable asset to me. Shout out to my friend Dee. Very cool to have her when she comes in to help me because I love eggs and rice. I mean, I can basically live off eggs and rice, hot sauce, and Parmesan cheese, and then take fruits and vegetables, blend it into a smoothie, and then drink that if I want it. But, oh, 2 giant egg sandwiches? Mm-hmm. I'll do bread sometimes. Typically, I would prefer rice over bread. But if it's real bread, bread all day. But some of the stuff in the United States, the bread they have in there, this stuff ain't real bread. You put it under water. You take like a piece of real bread and stick it under water and a piece of that fake bread. It don't look the same. I'm like, what the hell is this? It ain't bread. All right, so that's good. All right. So now we're gonna take a to-go container like this. And now the rest of my eggs and rice, I'm gonna eat those later as a snack. So, there we go. Very good. Yum, yum, yum. Very good. Cool. Nicole, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you learned something on nutrition. And maybe you guys will enjoy me going through a little bulk. You guys want to see me go through a little bit of a bulk and put some more size on like I used to be larger? That'll be fun. Keep in mind, I have a really good muscle memory, guys. Okie dokie. Any questions? We got 5 people in the chat. Any questions? Feels good to train a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I did miss training with weights a bit, but I found a little local gym that was 24 hours, and now I can go in there and start my super early morning workouts, which again, there's ways to train where you do your hydration. Your hydration is key, guys. Your hydration is so important. Do not believe me, I promise you. First thing in the morning when you wake up, get hydrated before you go to the gym. It's not as important that you eat. It's important that you get hydrated. You want your salt, your potassium. You want all that good stuff ready to go. That in itself, that is the key when you do early morning workouts. Sodium, potassium, salt, BCAAs, Gatorade. Put that, drink it. Make sure you start drinking and hydrating 30, 45 minutes. So by the time you get to the gym, you're good to go. And then after you hydrate, then you can have some coffee. I am digging the Rise mushroom coffee. Absolutely love it. If you look in my link below, you can buy some. Just kidding, just kidding. I don't get any money if you buy Rise. But I do find that the Rise coffee is pretty decent. Vitamin B12? Oh yeah. Pretty sure vitamin B12's in whole eggs. Yeah, but I wouldn't really care about vitamin B12 if it's before I work out. You know, because no matter what you eat, hey, Dominique, no matter what you eat before you train, especially if it's early in the morning, it's not going to help you train. Like, unless you're doing liquid nutrition. But I mean, B12 is super important. I mean, I feel you on that. But before you train, I care more about basically the electrolytes. I care more about electrolytes and hydration before I train, and sugar. I want to have sugar, honey, maybe Gatorade. I want a lot of sugar. So when I start training and I start getting into my hypertrophy work, I can utilize that to, basically expand sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Not that you have to do that, but before and after you train, that's the best time to have sugar in your system. Right? Now, when you're not moving, then you don't want sugar. What we got here? You do cardio in the morning first. Oh, that's cool. That's fair. Yeah, I don't really have to do a lot of cardio. I don't really do a lot of cardio at the gym. I'm assuming in the gym. I mean, if that's what you do and it works, go for it. My cardio is typically, if I want to do cardio, I got a weighted vest and I'll go walk with a weighted vest. But when I go to the gym, well, I guess I can't say I don't do cardio. It depends on what phase of training I'm in. If I'm doing full body workouts every other day or a bunch of calisthenics, then I'm not going to do cardio because I'm not exactly doing pure strength or hypertrophy. I'm doing more athletic training. But I'll do cardio maybe in the beginning to warm up, but instead of just doing straight cardio, I'll warm up and do like dynamic warm up to get my blood flowing, and then move into my main movement for strength and then finish with some volume work. And then I'd like to do my cardio and weights separate, right? But cardio is cool, but I feel like, cardio is great to do, but it also depends on what someone's goals are. I find if more people were to do more upper body, lower body weight training and pay attention to their food, then they didn't have to really do cardio unless they're going to do sprints or walking with a weighted vest. Just straight up cardio. It's okay if you want to be better at cardio. Like if you're doing endurance training, like when I was training for marathons, yeah, you need to do cardio. But as far as aesthetics goes, it's not really needed. It'll kind of spoil the look if you do too much, unless you're doing it like zone 2 or you're doing sprints, and it depends on how you're programming. But, it kind of depends on someone's goal, what their levels are, how they're eating. Are they overweight? Are they trying to be aesthetic? Are they trying to be a runner? If you're an endurance athlete, you got to do cardio, right? If you're a mixed martial artist, you got to. But HIIT. Yeah, high intensity interval training. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So to me, if you're doing HIIT cardio, see, that's more towards the aerobic or anaerobic side. Yeah. Now I would make a whole workout just with HIIT cardio, but I would do that separately from my weights. I wouldn't do my strength training or hypertrophy training and HIIT. HIIT would be a day on its own, or like a 30, 45 minute session early in the morning. And then maybe later on in the day, once I've eaten and feel relaxed, maybe go hit something else. But yeah, HIIT cardio for the win. Yeah, I like sprints, man. Sprints is where it's at. Sprints. Yeah, that's what I mean, man. Now, I would say this, before I did my HIIT cardio, I would be getting me a big old cup of Gatorade, BCAAs, electrolytes, honey, and I'd be drinking that sucker, and I'd have probably at least 50 to 60 grams of some type of sugar, Gatorade, and electrolytes. So if I'm working out early in the morning, I don't really care about eating before I go, but I do want some fuel, like some liquid nutrition. I prefer BCAAs and electrolytes. And then once I'm done with that HIIT session, then I'm gonna chow down like, some whole food, eggs and rice probably, you know what I mean? But yeah, HIIT cardio is, if anybody wants to get in shape, HIIT cardio will do it. Like if somebody just wants to be in shape and just look better, HIIT cardio all day with the right movements, like some type of press, some type of pull, some type of hinge, some type of squat, and specifically a carry. I find if people get heavy things and they add heavy carries back and forth, heavy carries is picking up 2 barbells of like a couple 100 pounds on them and just walking, or even 2 45 plates and pinching them. So you're pinching them on your grips. Heavy carries will do so much for the body because it's a way to make your body feel heavier, and then it sends a signal to the body to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like heavy, like get like 2 50 or 100 pound dumbbells, whatever your strength is, and just walk, 10, 20, 30 feet that way, and then walk back 10, 20. Those heavy carries, I think people get more out of that. And it also stretches, you know what I mean? It stretches things like heavy, or a hex bar deadlift. Get a hex bar deadlift and do like 1, 2, 3. Actually, if you're doing HIIT, you're probably going to be a little bit lighter. So maybe take 225 or so and pop 5 to 10 reps. Walk it over to the end, 5 to 10 reps, walk it back to the end, going back and forth. Hell yeah, dude. And then if you have a turf, get you something to pull. Yeah, those full body HIIT circuits, man, they the truth. I mean, it's tough, especially if you're not in shape, but I'd rather do HIIT circuits like that, spread throughout the week, versus just, like, I know some people that wake up early, go to the gym just to walk on a damn treadmill for an hour. And I'm like, damn, why didn't you just like walk outside? If I'm gonna do zone 2 cardio like that, I'm gonna go walk outside and get some sunlight. You know what I mean? I mean, make use of the tools if you're gonna use the gym. Don't just go there to walk on a treadmill. But hey, it's better than nothing. I feel you. If you ain't got a spot to walk, like I got the country out here, so I just don't get that, dude. It's like, hey, I ain't judging if that's you, not you, Dominique, or anybody else. But yeah, it's just like, I don't get that, man. Like, luckily our gym has a turf, so they have like a heavy bag. So I'll have a stopwatch around my neck that's like 45 seconds. I wear a stopwatch around my neck and people think I'm crazy. And I'm like, well, watch what I do. I'll put a stopwatch for like every minute, boom. And I'll hit the heavy bag for a minute. And then maybe I'll go over there and do a minute of push-ups and then hang on a bar. Cause I can't do a minute straight of pull-ups. I'm 6'4", 220. That shit ain't happening. I got these long ass monkey arms and I got big legs, so that's not happening. But I'll hang on a bar for at least a minute after my push-ups, and then maybe do like a med ball slam or a sled push. And I'll do 3 or 4 exercises back to back, I live in Bali. Dangerous to walk. Oh, fair enough. Oh, well, if you live in Bali, that's a little bit different. Yeah, I mean, well, hell, it might be, damn, Dominique, it might be a HIIT circuit, just going to the gym. So you put your backpack on, maybe some HIIT cardio, you playing Frogger all the way up to the gym, you know what I'm saying? Maybe your circuit is just getting to the gym. Man, get out my way, fool. Pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. All right, guys, you only got me for about 10 more minutes. So I'm only gonna be able to do this for about 10 more minutes, and then yeah. But Dominique, so you like to train, huh? What do you train for? As you said, do you go to the gym, or are you training at the house? Because don't get it twisted. If you understand push-ups and pull-ups, like, you can get a pretty good workout just doing calisthenics, but the body's not gonna look the same as if you lift weights. Weights just make you thicker. It is what it is. Although if you know how to move your body weight properly, you can still get a good result. But you got to know what you're doing. You really got to understand, isometrics in order to achieve that, and weighted progression. Man, my hair looks crazy, dude. I just got a haircut and my hair is already grown back in. Nuts, ain't it? All right, any other questions? So, any questions with nutrition? So for the next 10 minutes, any of you guys that are in the chat, for my well-being and all, no specific goal, have ADH. Okay. Well, Dominique. That's cool. I can understand that. So if you have ADHD and you have a lot of energy, let me tell you a little something I would recommend. Whatever you're going to do at the gym that day, have one main focus. Now you could do, what I would recommend is, depending on what your goals are, just go have fun. If you're having fun, do whatever you do. Hey, are you gay? No, I am not gay. I mean, I'm gay in the sense of I'm happy as far as the original definition, but as far as do I pursue men? No, not at all. Don't really find men attractive. Not really my thing. So to each their own though. I don't really care if someone is gay. Oh man, I ain't gonna judge someone else. If somebody, this is the way I see it. I think the butt is an exit, not an entrance. That's my stance on that. I think the butt is an exit, not an entrance. So we'll just leave it at that. Am I sure? Anyways, you're looking good, man. Haven't been in the chat in a while. Yeah, Nody, yeah, I've been doing pretty good, man. Yeah. For my ADHD. All right. Ba 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 ba. Do do do. Boink. All right. Yeah, naughty. So yeah, I took about 30, 45 days off of weight training. My body needed to recover and I was doing a business project, but we're going to hit back into the gym. I do this every year. I'll take sometimes 1 to 3 months off, literally just to like let my body rest. And now that my business project has kind of reached the end, now I'm going to try to start, training 3 to 4 times a week. I say that, but it's probably going to end up being more. The more I eat and the more I can keep, the way I train is solely based on my nutrition. If I have good solid food coming in, I train more often. So, but Nody, are you doing well? I'm only going to be on here for about an hour total and we're at 53 minutes. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I do like to train, man. But sometimes when you comes to training, sometimes life gets into the way. But I'm back on one of my original diets to where I have used in the past. I wrote myself a program and a nutrition program, and I'm going to see if my body adapts to it pretty well. So far, if we're just being straight up honest, I feel like the first few days was a little bit tough getting back into the swing of things, but I've altered my nutrition to add more carbs because I don't know how other people do this, but when I eat more carbohydrates like rice and potato mixed with good fats and proteins, my body tends to respond pretty fast to training. So, I feel like I have a decent gauge of how nutrition works for my body. Yeah, 12 hours a day, man. I tell you what, man. Are you doing physical labor? Are you doing like blue collar work, my friend? Because that makes it tough. But keep in mind, I was in the Navy for 10 years. And during that time, I was probably the biggest and strongest I ever was in my life. So I made a routine. And I was working, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, sometimes up to 15 days. So it can be done, but I kind of want to know what you're doing and how you're moving around. I can give you some tips if you want to stay in shape. Kind of depending on if you just want to stay lean or if you want to build muscle. Oh shit, you do iron work? Oh fuck, dude, you work out all day. Your biggest thing is just nutrition. Your biggest thing is just nutrition. Let's see here. Well, bam. So, yeah, I would say this. Naughty, since you're doing steel work, I actually have a good routine for you if you actually want one. because you're doing so much aerobic activity. I've known some steel workers and some mechanics I've written some routines for. I can tell you a good routine. Like, I got you, man. You know, assuming that if you're looking for one, but I would say full body every other day, right? So you're not overdoing it. Full body every other day, and have 3 to 4 days of rest because you're moving so much with your job, doing iron work, right? Just focus on a couple key compound lifts each workout as your first movement, and then do volume work ever and keep it to 45 minutes to an hour. And then focus on your nutrition, because if you're doing iron work all day and you're trying to work out, you're really gonna have to focus on your nutrition and your hydration. If not, your body's gonna be too stressed out to recover. You're just gonna have too much output. So I would focus on my nutrition, my hydration, and really making sure I get enough carbs and fats in addition to the protein. But you're gonna need more energy if you're doing that much work all day. That's a lot of work. Iron work is tough on the body. It's tough, it's a lot. So for you, when I'm in the gym, I would probably focus on 6 to 8 reps under control and maybe not do so much volume, because you're doing volume all day when you're doing iron work. You're moving all day. So pure strength training, like 6 to 8 under control, 3 to 4 sets of maybe 4 to 6. You could do 5 by 5 too. Not killing yourself, but just slowly building up that strength on top of the volume you're doing with your work. Because some people sit in the desk all day, they need more frequency. If you're doing manual labor and you're doing that, you know, typically it's not usually being lazy, it's just tired. You're so tired because you're doing all this damn work all the time. That's typically where, that's typically where you'd want to focus on your nutrition and your hydration and rest. And I think that's the missing element in a lot of people's program when they do manual labor. Because when I was in the Navy, I got my best results working out 3 days a week. And it was usually 2 to 4 in the morning when I got off of a 14-hour shift. But I would be eating on my off day. Yeah, for sure, man. You know, I don't know what your stats are, what your goals are, but there's only very few people I've met that are going to train 4, 5, 6 days a week and do carpentry work or blue collar work or iron work and stuff or mechanic work. It's just too much on the body, dude, you know? And for you, I wouldn't worry about my protein as much. Protein is good, obviously. I would make sure I had enough energy, have enough carbs and fats to supply you the energy so you can get through work. And the day that you plan on working out, make sure you bump up those calories that day, because that's the day that you're gonna need more calories. Because, dude, iron work is, I've never done iron work long-term, but I was in the Navy and I've seen like HTs and welders, and I'm telling you, that's a lot of work, dude. So, you know, rice and eggs is gonna be your best friend. Trust me on that, dude. Rice and eggs. If you don't know what to eat, rice and eggs. You can eat tuna and eat all that shit if you want to. I hate fish. I ain't eating tuna. Screw that. I'll eat eggs all day though, you know. And, tuna's good for the anti-inflammatory, but just make sure you eat some berries. And yeah, dude. All right. So, guys, that is it for today. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Feels good to be back into the gym. We'll see how the body responds to basically the up frequency of my nutrition. Because I don't know if you guys are like me, but the hardest thing in training is eating. Yeah, we're redoing the airport down here in Southwest Florida. So yeah. Hey, before we go, I want to say one thing, and this is my last thing. Dominique, you're very welcome. Naughty, do you have a budget to where you can get some BCAs or EAAs? Because if you do, I don't know if you're overweight, underweight. Since you're working all day, I'm assuming you're in good shape, but either sugar-free Gatorade or BCAs and EAAs, start sipping this shit all day and your body will appreciate it. BCAs or EAAs or powdered Gatorade that's sugar-free, because you're moving your body so much, you're gonna have a hard time staying hydrated, preparing yourself for a hard workout session. Hydration is the missing element. Salt, minerals, electrolytes, that is the key element to the difference between someone who can train more often and not. In addition to proteins, fats, and carbs, but keep in mind, for you guys who are working manual labor, you don't need as much protein as you think. Unless you just want to get shredded and diced, but then you're going to feel like shit at work because you're going to be shredded and diced and you're not going to have energy to do your job. So instead, focus on carbs and fats, healthy carbs, get your protein in, but the more healthy fats and carbs you get, the less protein you need because they're protein sparing. And then when you decide you want to cut, then up the protein and do that, up the protein and pull back from the others. But in the beginning, don't do that. You really need to gauge how much energy you need to be feeling good in the gym. You need to be enthusiastic enough, have enough hydration and food to make sure you can get through your workday and 2 to 3 sessions in the gym. I hope that makes sense. And this is straight from a Navy veteran and a professional trainer, someone who puts people, I enroll people in a university to become professional trainers. Yeah. Avocado tuna pasta. Hey, yeah, I feel you on that. Assuming that the pasta is real pasta, spend the money to get pasta from Italy. I know it's going to sound crazy, but a lot of American pasta, right? I love my country, right? Go Navy, baby. Just make sure 240, have a little belly fat, but pretty fit. Okay, that's fine. Well, if you want to be big and strong, that's your power belly, right? If you want that belly to go down and keep your performance, then what you can do is just carb cycle. Do 2, 3, or 4 days where you pull the carbs back and you eat more protein and fat. And then every 5th day, pull back the fat and add carbs and protein. So you do protein and fat mostly for 3 or 4 days. And on that 5th day, you pull back the carbs and then you eat protein and fat. You pull back the fat and you eat protein and carbs. That's a really good way to do it. That doesn't take any effort. So it's day 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm eating protein and fat within a good calorie. And on that 5th day, I'm going to pull back the fat and eat more carbs and protein. So you're kind of keeping protein consistent, but you're cycling the energy source because your 2 energy sources are fats and protein. So if you're basically going to put your glycogen down, burn some fat, put the glycogen back in, and that can also be your hardest workout if you time it right. But that's just, that's just if that's what you want to do. If you don't care and you're pretty fit, then go do it. But, I used to be 300 pounds, so I've lost 100 pounds. So I used to be a big, strong guy, and now I'm a little bit leaner, only 220, but I feel better being lighter. I'm 40 years old, dude. Being close to 40, I'm almost about to turn 40, right? I feel better being lighter. So that's my goal. That's my experience. Take it and take some of what I said, wrap it up, put it on your tool belt like Batman. For sure, very easily. Avocado tuna pasta sounds good, Dominique. Just make sure it's real pasta that's not super enriched, preferably from Italy. You can get that. Oh, thanks, man. Well, I love training, man. I love, anybody who wants to better themselves, and especially the blue collar workers, the steel workers, the military, the people in my country. I fought for the Navy for about 10 years and defended our country. And I can tell you, I love it when people want to do something to make them better. Much respect to all you guys. I got to go now. Time to go do some business. You guys stay good. God bless you. And remember, have fun. Enjoy the process. You know you're doing the right thing when you don't feel like doing it. And then you do it anyways. And afterwards, you feel better than you did before you started. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say that again. You know you're doing the right thing when you don't want to do it, but you do it anyways. And then once you're done, you feel better than when you started.